madman!
Good morning.
What are you playing at? There could have been a serious accident. That heap of iron shouldn't be allowed on the road.
Well, yes, I suppose landing my eagle actually on the road is a bit dangerous. Still, you managed to stop your car in time, so no harm done, eh? Oh dear.
What were you trying to do? I could have been killed.
Oh, simply trying to get your attention, Mr. Fearless Foley, sir. Wondering if you might press the button on the randomiser for us today.
Well, I think that...
Excellent, splendid, thank you. Well, finger on this button, please.
All right.
Thank you. Oh, my name's Chris, by the way, also known as the Randomiser in some quarters.
These ridiculous nicknames they give people.
And this is Marina. She can't speak.
They're obviously both unbalanced.
Well, yes, it has been suggested.
That's not the point.
Right, let's see what we have today. Well, today's episode is from Terrahawks.
Really?
Yes, and it's Happy Madeday.
I don't understand.
Oh, you will, my lovely boy. So, here we are, back with Terrahawks. It doesn't feel like it was too long since we were last here, but this is a quite notable episode of the show. I believe it's the first in production order to actually end with a Stein pun / joke for the name of the writer.
I am powerless.
And this is a nice intro,
Even to mend your evil ways, Zelda.
where it looks like Zelda's been defeated and
No alternative.
Tiger is being shot in very interesting dark
More chances, Zelda.
shadows here, wearing a strange cloak.
Forever.
Please.
The game is over, Zelda.
No.
But some indication that he's not quite
So are you.
who he appears to be is,
MOID. Bravo.
well, the fact that he's named MOID.
Wonderful.
Which just goes to show that even, we're now entering the 4th year of the podcast, I think? I don't know, I've lost track. And this is our first MOID episode on the Randomiser, I believe.
Do it, MOID. I have always had a small talent for mimicry.
So even though this is, I'm currently projecting that the Randomiser will run for about 10 years, even at the nearly halfway mark, we are still encountering new characters.
That stupid way. You do, you gurgling idiot.
And although this is, I think, 8th in production order, it was aired
Here's it.
quite early on in the run. I think it was aired like 4th.
Years of dedication have made him MOID, master of infinite disguise.
Right, so we know we have
You are too kind to your humble servant.
some kind of alien disguise artist here,
Our plan is laid.
currently disguised as Tiger,
Theory it's going to work.
which is a very clever way to set up the character. We know we have a disguise artist here. We know he's obviously being connected with the Martians. We know he's in some way alien. But we're not going to get the reveal of what he looks like until much later, which is a pretty good idea, really.
If you want to see me beat you again, I want to see you try.
Ooh.
Hiro is ready for liftoff in Treehawk.
Yes, Hawkeye is...
Oh, have a good fright.
thank you for that. Yes, Hawkeye is playing Tiger's game and doing quite well.
Maybe you're losing your touch.
He's creeping up on that 750 high score.
Maybe you're not.
Treehawk, you have a 1050.
10-10.
Yes, it's interesting with this show, and a few other shows as well in the Anderson universe, in fact, that for some vehicles we know exactly how they get into them. With Treehawk is one of those where you've got no idea. How does anybody get into that thing? Never shown.
But we should be getting our first sight of Bell's comet.
Ah!
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's that comet named after that art director guy. Is it Bob Bell?
Once before,
That's a nice nod to
1928.
another long-time Anderson collaborator.
You missed that one, hotshot.
Man. Present company accepted, Sergeant Major.
Thank you, Mom.
Space.
Yes, this is quite a strong episode for so early in Terrahawks' run.
Coming into range now. The comet will be visible in the eastern sky for 1.5 minutes.
This is probably the first episode where I can honestly, genuinely put my hand on my heart and say I think they've got all the characters nailed by this point.
Confirmed, it is a double echo.
Tiger, we may have a problem. I'm calling at 10:30.
I'll be right there.
746, 749. Oh.
Pleasure before business, Hawkeye. Don't you mean... No. The way you were scoring, turning that thing off was a real pleasure.
We've all had that. If you've ever had a games console, you've always had that family member who always turns them off when they're winning. Oh. When they're not winning, I should say. When I'm winning, they turn it off.
But the echo is shifting. It's moving away from the main body.
Identify, fast.
10-10.
Oh, it's a rhino. And a nice close-up on the, I guess, the bridge section from which a Zeef has been launched.
Positive identification.
And the space tracker Zeroids have already picked it up. I always wondered about these space tracker Zeroids. Are they actually just fixed in there the whole time, or do they actually get to come out and have a break?
Scanner, coming
I
straight.
hope they get to come out and have a break, because it would be quite a dull existence otherwise.
Open fire as soon as you can.
Targeting now.
101 has been left alone in charge of Spacehawk, while
You're running out of time, 101.
I can't...
Hiro has been visiting Hawk Nest.
Terrahawk will be caught in the detonation.
Oh no.
Zeef closing. Take evasive action.
Yes, Treehawk not really built for space combat as such, so he's returning to Earth, heading into the upper atmosphere, but ooh,
I've been hit.
he's been hit.
Main thrusters 10-0.
Oh, and here we go, this lovely music from Close Call. I adore this piece of music.
Just about Dr. Einstein.
The Zeef's still on your tail.
Oh, this is exciting. Poor old Hiro's having a bit of trouble. Can't level out.
You must activate auxiliary motors.
Activating motors.
And some movement on the model there that I suspect might have been stop motion, and you do see occasional bits of stop motion in this series as the wings opened there to fire the retros.
Status on Treehawk. You're going to have to fly her manually.
10-10. Switching to manual.
So everything seems to be under control now, except
20,000 feet.
For space sake, level out.
he's not leveling out. A nice close-up there on Tiger's mouth, and then we cut to a close-up on Hiro's mouth, and then zoom out again. An odd shot, but quite effective.
Done it!
Yay!
Hawkwing.
Oh, but oh,
Out of fuel.
oh no!
I'm approaching an ice field. I'll ditch there.
10-10. Hawkwing's on its way.
Why we didn't launch Hawkwing earlier, I don't know, but my goodness, this is a cool crash landing. Ah. Lovely stuff.
He's down.
And again, this ice field, although it ties in with what I've said before about this show doing a lot of things, setting a lot of events away from major population centres. You know, you never see a populated city as such in this show. This ice field makes such a change from the usual deserty, jungly bits. And Hiro has hauled himself out of Treehawk, made his way into a cave, which is very pretty and sparkly. Got his gun at the ready, just in case anyone from the Zeef tries to follow him. Oh, who's this?
Who's there?
Wow.
Who is it?
It's the same figure we saw on Mars earlier, disguised as...
Dr. Einstein?
Yes, it's me.
Doctor, am I glad to see you?
I'm pleased to have found you.
There was a fire hazard in Treehawk. Fuel spillage. I thought I'd better get clear.
Very wise.
Doctor, are you feeling all right?
And what I like about the
But you look in bad shape.
the way the tiger puppet looks here, and I suspect it is just the regular tiger puppet, except that when MOID is playing Tiger and when he's playing Hiro,
Your sleeve.
in both cases the puppets have...
The doctor?
Well, it looks a bit like mascara. There's something going on around the eyes to suggest this isn't the real person. And it's a very subtle effect,
Serenity. Don't you think?
but it's quite effective. It makes the characters look quite sinister and adds to the illusion that there's something underneath their faces. Oh, there we go. Tiger has given Hiro a shot. Of course, it's not Tiger, it's MOID. doing his Zelda impression. And poor old Hiro being so trusting, he didn't really question where Tiger came from or how. And he's unconscious. I do like the Terrahawks winter gear. Hawkeye's looks very practical, but of course Kate, as with everything she wears, her wig has to match the
Hiro?
The colour of her uniform.
Let's get him to Hawkwing.
So she has a white fur coat and she has to wear a white wig with it. Even though normally she would launch with her pink wig, with her pink Terrahawks uniform, evidently she changed wigs before she got out of Hawkwing.
Attack.
The final attack?
Yes.
In episode 4?
In our fleet.
An attack! What shall I wear? A new dress?
A dress? You need an attire suitable for battle.
Of course! A battle dress!
I like it when in this show the Martians make a bit of a show of going into battle. In Christmas Miracle they dress up quite a bit too.
You grinning about?
And here comes another subplot.
It's my birthday, sir.
Zero's birthday.
What?
Birthday, sir. I checked on my date of manufacture. I was switched on for the very first time 4 years ago today, at 0400 hours to be precise.
And that's quite interesting, because if you look at Zero's activation date, according to the annual, I believe it's 2018.
Get out of here.
So in that case, that would put this episode... Yeah, 2022.
Where are you? I'm fine, Doctor.
So even though we reached 2020, which was the year Zelda attacked, obviously, and we feel like we've kind of, the Terrahawks' future is kind of receding into our own past. No, this episode, at the time of this edition of the Jerry Anderson podcast,
Get back on duty.
the events of this episode have yet to happen.
Give my regards to those plants of yours. Plants? Oh, yes, I will.
Something's not right with Hiro. But putting that, I would never think to sit down and try to put together a Terrahawks chronology. I suspect you probably wouldn't get very far. But that was a rare instance of a date
Welcome back, Lieutenant.
being given in a story there.
You will assume control of all operations on the ship.
Yes, Lieutenant.
It would also put a lot of
You will obey no other instructions.
MOID's episodes quite late in the Terrahawks' experiences of battling with Zelda.
Obey only your voice?
Exactly.
Sir, you said it.
Said what?
Exactly.
Exactly. I'm going on a tour of inspection. The whole ship. And get those plants out of here. They're dust traps.
Oh no.
Dust traps.
So,
Something's wrong. Something's terribly wrong.
yeah, why would MOID be worried about dust traps, for starters? But yes, MOID has now replaced Hiro on Spacehawk. We don't know where the real Hiro is. And he's given orders to 101 to basically just do as he's told or else.
Am I to conclude this is a day for celebration, Sergeant Major?
Yes, Mom. The 4th anniversary of my day of manufacture.
Yay.
Well, congratulations. Happy Madeday.
Ooh, thank you, Mom.
I do like as well that something that's clearly so important to Zero, and Tiger couldn't care less, but Mary is genuinely happy for him. I do like that. Not just the relationship between Tiger and Zero and Mary, but also the way the three of them kind of counterbalance each other when it comes to Zero.
Is this suitable?
Tiger resents and despises him. Mary is like, yes, you're a real person. Good for you.
Don't tell you.
And Sistar has dressed for the occasion. She's gone a bit over the top, though.
Let battle be joined.
Oh, yeah, she's wearing a metal, a battle chest dress thing and a metal helmet with red, white, and blue feathers sticking out of the top. And this is one of those rare occasions where they launch the whole fleet to go and attack Earth. They seem to reserve these attacks for when Spacehawk is going to be defenseless.
What?
And I love the way they could open one of the shutters, the eyelids on the Zeroid faces.
And what about the lieutenant?
It makes them so much more expressive, as well as the eyes wiggling backwards and forwards.
Isn't Lieutenant Hiro?
Space Sergeant, you will not contact Hawknest in any way. Is that understood?
Yes, Lieutenant.
Oh
He
dear.
must be sick, sir. Probably needs scrapping. But that's what he said. Lieutenant Hiro wasn't Lieutenant Hiro.
Zero's always so supportive of 101.
Be not. Kate, this is a 1050 for Hawkwing. I want you to search for the wreckage of that alien ship Hiro said crashed on the glacier.
10-10.
It's all getting a bit Captain Scarlet now. Someone's been replaced. Can we find evidence of wreckage? Specifically of the Zeef that MOID Hiro said was
I
destroyed.
have a contact. It looks like the whole of Zelda's fleet.
Thank you, 101.
But, sir, we should lock onto the target.
Don't tell me what to do.
Whoa. I was wondering earlier, when Hiro was in the ice cave, he was holding his gun, and I noticed on one of the fingers of his left hand
Kind of replica.
there was some kind of ring, and I thought it was the bottom of the gun, but it's on the MOID Hiro there as well.
Direct order. Open fire. You obey only my command.
I wonder what that's about.
Obey orders, master and slave.
Here we go.
Humans must be obeyed.
He shorted out, sir.
I was never a big fan of this with the Zeroids,
Hawk is neutral.
where they try to recreate the
Hine and his snivelling pack are at our mercy.
Robot the Robot blowing his top thing from XL5. Thankfully, it didn't last long into the series. That was Zero's catchphrase in early episodes. The whole thing is totally beyond my comprehension.
The Space Zeroids are programmed to fire on command of Space Sergeant 101.
But with 101 out of commission, we're in deep trouble.
So she called them Space Zeroids, which means they're potentially different from regular Zeroids. That would be a very sad existence.
Zero, calling 101, and all you lovely Space Zeroids.
Yeah, Space Zeroids again.
Me lads. And today,
This is a lovely speech from Winsor Davies, though.
Get on with it, Zero.
now, I've never lied to you lads. In fact, I'm programmed not to lie. As we all know, there are ways round that particular circuit.
Oh, again, the eye animation there does so much for the character.
I would never deceive any one of you. Zelda is launching a massive attack.
Oh,
I want you to open fire!
good eye acting from Hiro there as well, or from MOID, I should say.
The honor of the regiment is...
As 101 was listening to Zero's words, MOID just kind of gave him a sideways glance.
Sound the bugle. Let the tunes of glory ring in your ears!
I'm with you.
What an asset Windsor was to this show.
Stay right where you are. This is Space Sergeant 101. Open fire!
101's resolved his mental problems. He's pulled a gun on Hiro. Or MOID, I should say. And opened fire on the fleet.
We would be safe.
And I still never really got with this. And I think there's a couple of episodes later. Time Warp would be one where they've deployed the whole fleet on the basis of Spacehawk being defenseless.
Assumed.
But with a fleet of 8 of Zelda's ships
Sergeant Major, you...
versus Spacehawk, it still seems to me like it would be at least an even fight, if not an easy victory for Zelda.
Deserve it.
Not you, Zero. I'm talking about 101. He really saved the situation.
101? You...
Oh, poor Zero.
Overflying the glacier. The Zeef didn't crash. Scan indicates one human life form in the area.
It has to be Hiro.
Oh.
Real Hiro.
Yes, indeed.
So the Martians just left Hiro unattended in a cave.
Disguise in your space station. But I have your hero.
Oh, he wasn't unattended. He was left with a cube and tied up.
There are hundreds. We shall have to do business, won't we, Doctor?
All right, Zelda. We'll make the exchange in the ice field.
So, Zelda's mothership is out in the ice field. There she is with Hiro in the cube.
Despicable Neinstein has failed to keep the appointed hour.
No, there he is.
Zelda.
Destroyed the cube.
Told you to keep out of sight. I did not observe your arrival.
You weren't meant to. Let's get this over.
And that dialogue points to a slightly truncated ending for this episode, but I think what's about to happen more than makes up for it. This is quite a shock ending. As Hiro takes off the mask, and there's the face of Moid.
I wear many faces, but have none of my own.
Yes, I wonder how many...
Is your creation, Zelda?
How many people ran screaming from their televisions in terror at the sight of Moid back in the day?
To depart.
But yes, there's a whole scene, I think filmed, or at least recorded, it's in the script, and of Hiro and Tiger going back to Hudson.
One can feel a certain sorrow, even for an enemy.
Which included that line. But yeah, first appearance of Moid, right there. And although there's Tiger's line, "This is your creation, Zelda," the fact that she doesn't respond kind of fires the imagination a bit. It certainly fired my imagination when I wrote an episode for the audio series of Terrahawks later on, establishing where Moid had come from. But anyway, that was Happy Madeday, and yeah, definitely the, in production order, and yeah, probably broadcast order as well, the strongest episode of the series to that point. Compared to some of the others that came later on, it's fairly conventional, but there's a nice, almost Captain Scarletish feel to this one of someone having been replaced, and someone in a position of authority and trust is now not what they appear to be. And of course the reveal at the end there of not only the shocking appearance of Moid, but also the slightly tragic element to the character, which would be repeated many times throughout the rest of the series.